Hi, and thanks for joining us for our class today. So today we're going to work throughout the body, but we're going to have some sequence of exercises that really focus on strengthening around our hip and our core region as well today. So make sure you always go to a level that you feel comfortable with, and as much as possible I'm going to show you some options and variations to the exercises as we go through the class. So we're going to start in standing and warm up, and then we're going to come down onto our backs, onto the mat, and then a little bit on our fronts, then round onto our sides before we finish in sitting. So when you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to bring those toes apart and those heels apart, so those feet are that hip width distance. Just to start with, we're going to transfer that weight going to the front of your toes and then back onto your heels. So just nice and slowly forwards and back, just looking to find that midpoint between those two movements, so our weight's going nice and evenly down through those feet. Those knees are nice and soft, so not locked back. Hands up onto your pelvis very gently. We're going to tilt that pelvis forward and then tilting it back. So just a gentle movement forwards and back. Again, just look to find that midpoint between those two movements, so our pelvis in that nice and neutral position. That core's gently engaged, those ribs are soft, collarbones wide, and that neck nice and long and lifted from there. Wonderful. So we're going to bring our elbows in towards our side, and we're just going to open out through the chest. So breath in. As you breathe out, squeeze the shoulder blades gently back, open those hands apart, and breathe in as you fold back. Good. Breathing out. Breathing in as you fold back. Squeezing the shoulder blades gently back and folding in. Lovely. So just opening out gently through the fronts of those shoulders, fronts of that chest, as you're opening out, squeezing gently back and forwards. Good. Now on this next one, we're going to add in our cleopatra movement. So we're going to open out, reach those palms away and then folding back. Good. So we're going to open out, palms down and then palms up as you fold back. Good. So opening out, reaching away and folding back. So one nice smooth movement. Good. Folding back. So breathing out, reaching away, breathing in as you fold back. Good. Now, if you can, we're going to add on this next one some heel raises so it becomes one movement together. So we're going to open out, up on those toes, fold back together. Good. And again, opening out, reaching away and folding back. Good. Up on those toes, folding back. Lovely. And again, reaching away, folding back. Last few. One nice smooth movement. Good. Let's do one more here. And then folding back. Well done. Relaxing those arms back down. Okay, so we're going to bring one leg just in front, keeping this pelvis nice and level. The leg you're standing on is going to work hard to support you. Keep that knee nice and soft, and we're going to lift up and lower with that opposite leg. So keeping that pelvis level, lifting and lowering. So just flexing at that hip, we're going to lift up and lower. Good. And again, lift up and lower. Now, if you can, we're going to bring those arms in. So we're just going to float them up to shoulder height and lower down together. Good. And again, floating up, lower down together. Good. So lifting up, lowering down together. Well done. Lift up and lower down. Well done. Lifting and lowering. Well done. Good. Now on this next one, we're going to challenge our balance a little bit more. So we're going to lift up, hold that here, bring those arms up and around in that circle, coming forwards and lower down together. Well done. And again, lift up, reach the arms up and around in that circle, forwards and down together. Good. And again, lifting up, reach the arms up and around, forwards and down together. Good. Reaching up, lifting up and around in that circle and down together. Good. Last one here. So lifting up, hold that there, reaching around in that circle and then down. Very good. And then bring that leg forwards. Okay, so let's do the same on the other side. So opposite leg forward, pelvis staying nice and level. And we're going to lift up and lower. So this leg you're standing on is working hard to support you. Keep that knee nice and soft. And we're lifting and lowering through this leg. So just flexing at that hip. So we can float those hands up to shoulder height again if you can. So lifting up and lowering. Good. So nice, smooth, controlled movement together as you lift up and lower. Well done. And again, lift up and lower. Very good. So as before, we're going to challenge that balance a little bit more on this next one. So we're going to lift up if you can, hold that position, reach those arms up and around in that circle, coming forwards and down together. Good. And again, lifting up, holding that there, reaching that arm around in that circle, forwards and down. Well done. And again, lifting up, reach the arms up and around in that circle, forwards and down. Good. And again, lift up, reaching up and around in a circle, forwards and down. Well done. Let's do one last time. Reach up, reaching around in that circle, holding that position and lowering that leg down. Well done. So bring those feet back to that hip width distance apart. Those knees facing forward. So you're just going to come over those toes as we go into our squat. So I want you to reach your hands forward and we're going to sit back, that bottom back into the squat and lift back up. Good. And again, dropping down and lifting up. And again, drop down and lift up. Good. And again, drop down and lift up. Sitting that bottom back, keeping those knees, that hip width distance apart as you sit down and back. Good. And again, drop down, lift up. Now on this next one, we're going to drop down, come up onto your toes and then push up through those toes and down. Good. And again, drop down, up on those toes, lift up through those toes and down. Good. Drop down, up on those heels, lifting up and down. So we're pushing up from that squat on those toes and down. Well done. Drop down, up on those toes, lifting up and down. So extending those legs as we come up on those toes and down. Good. Last few and down. One last time. Drop down, up on those toes, lifting up and lowering back down. Well done. Okay, so let's have a stretch out through our sides with our mermaid movement. So feet still staying that hip width distance apart. I'm going to bring one arm up and above my head, reaching over into this little side bend here. And then going to come around in that circle with that arm and then lifting back up. Good. Reaching over again, little side bend here. And then we're folding around in that circle and lifting up. Good. One more time, reaching over, coming around in that circle. And then lifting back up from there, relax the arm down. Good. Opposite side, reach that arm up, little side bend here, folding around in that circle and lifting back up. Good. And again, reaching over, folding around in that circle and lifting back up. One more time, reach over, folding around and then lifting back up. Well done. Relax that arm back down. Very good. Okay, so let's just do a few roll downs just to get our backs moving. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that chin down, curling, rolling those hands slowly down towards the floor. Take a breath at the end here. Then as you breathe out, slowly peeling back up into standing. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that chin down, curl down through that spine, rolling those hands gently down towards the floor. Take a breath at the end there. And as you breathe out, slowly restacking that spine back up into standing. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that chin down, rolling down into that C shape. Just peeling down gently as far as you're comfortable, breath in at your end point. And as you breathe out, gently coming back up into standing. Let's do one more here. Breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that chin down, rolling those hands down, slowly down towards the floor. Breath at the end there. And as you breathe out, gently coming back up into standing and relaxing those shoulders down. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to come down onto our backs, onto the mat and continue from there. Okay, so continuing here down onto our backs on the mat, we're going to have our feet and knees that hip width distance apart. Just to start with, tilt that pelvis forwards and back, just looking to find that midpoint between those two movements. So in that nice and neutral position with that pelvis. Those ribs are nice and soft, collarbones wide, and that neck nice and long and lifted from there. Lovely. So arms just relaxed down by your side here. We're going to just start by mobilising through those hips with our hip twist movement. So we're going to let one knee fall out to the side just as far as you can, comfortably control that movement and then come back to that start. Opposite side opening out and then folding back. So with this exercise, we're really aiming to keep those hip bones nice and level. So those headlights pointing up towards the ceiling. So imagine those hip bones, those headlights, we're keeping them pointing up. If you're feeling those hips rolling or rotating a bit too far, just make that movement a little bit smaller. Just so we can keep that nice and level and controlling that movement. Well done. So we're going to breathe out as we open out, breathe in as we fold back. Breathe out as we open out, breathe in as we fold back. Well done. So opening out and folding back. Good, so you can keep your fingers just on those hip bones just to give you a sense of what they're doing, and just try to keep those fingers nice and level. Well done. So if that's comfortable here, you can stay there, or we can raise one leg up into single tabletop and then open out and fold back. Lower back down, opposite leg lifted, opening out, folding back and lower down. Good. So we can alternate sides here, opening out, fold back and lowering. Good. So breathing out as you open out, breathe in as you fold back. So still keeping that control as you open that leg out and then folding back here. Lovely. So if that's comfortable, either stay at this level or with those feet down, or if you want to for the last few, we can bring both legs up into double tabletop and then we're going to open out and fold back. So just go to where you're comfortable. Breathing out as you open out, breathe in as you fold back. Now you might find if you lift up into single or double tabletop, that movement will be a little bit smaller with those legs because it's a little bit harder to control. And that's fine. Just go to where you can still maintain that control throughout that movement. Good. Opening out, breathing in as you fold back. Breathing out as you open out, breathing as you fold back. Well done. Keeping that control, opening out and folding back. Well done. Opening out and folding back. Lovely. We'll just do the last few here. And folding back. Well done. Now let's just do one more each side. Opening out, fold back. And then we're going to lower those legs one at a time back down to that start. Well done. Okay, so we're going to move through our hips a little bit more with our one leg circle. So we're going to float one leg up into tabletop. Now we can either keep this knee in this bent position. Imagine you've got a pencil on the end of that knee and we're going to circle that leg around, controlling that movement here. If that feels comfortable, then you can straighten your leg and then circling around from there. So just pick what feels comfortable for you. So coming around and back. Now again, we're trying to keep this pelvis nice and level so we can make that circle as big as we can control. So if you're finding again that you're rolling through that pelvis a bit too much, just make that circle a little bit smaller as we're moving through here. So just breathing in and out as you're circling that leg round. And that movement's coming from the hip. It's the hip that's circling this leg around. The rest of the leg's just following. Good. And let's change direction. So opposite direction with that leg. Well done. Moving around. Just as far as you can control. Circling around through that leg. Good. Breathing in and out. Circling that leg around. Very good. Good. Last few. And then one more circle around, back to that start, lowering that leg back down to the ground. Well done. Okay, opposite leg lifted. So keeping this leg either in this tabletop position, imagine you've got that pencil on the end of your knee and you're circling that leg around. Again, that movement's coming from that hip. It's the hip that's moving the leg is following. Well done. If that's comfortable, then we can either then stay there or straighten that leg. And again, coming around in that circle, moving gently through, keeping this pelvis nice and level as we're gently moving through that circle. Well done. Good. So as before, just making that circle as big or as small as you can control as we're coming around and back up. Still breathing in and out. Don't hold your breath. Well done. And around. Good. Pelvis staying nice and level. Very good. Let's change direction here. So coming around and back. Keeping that control, that movement from that hip as you're circling around. Well done. Moving through. Slowly back. Well done. One more time. Back to that centre and then lower that leg back down. Well done. Okay, so we're just going to move through our hips with one more here and we're going to go into our scissors movement. So we're going to float one leg up into our tabletop position. Keeping this knee at that 90-degree angle, we're going to tap that foot down, back up and then lower. Opposite leg lifted. Tap down, up and lower. Good. So lifting that leg, tap down, back up and lower. So as before, the movement is coming from that hip. We're lowering that leg down, back up. Good. Lifting up, lower down and back. So that knee is staying nice and still, just staying at that 90-degree angle as we're lowering that leg down. Well done. Good. So just breathing out as you lower down, breathing in to fold back. Very good. Just alternating sides as you're lifting up and down. Now, if that feels comfortable, you can stay there, or you can bring both legs up into that double tabletop position, and we're going to tap down and back up. So we're alternating sides still, tapping that foot down, lifting up. Breathing out as you lower down, breathe in to fold back. Keep those shoulders nice and relaxed, well done. Tapping down, lifting up. Very good, and a few more. Tap down, lift up. So keeping that nice neutral position, don't let that back arch. If you start to feel your tummy's really doming, your back is arching, just come back to that single leg. You can always reset, come back up again, but just make sure we're working that in that right way. Well done. Tapping down, lifting up. Good. Tap down, lift up. Last few here. Well done. And back. Tap down, lift up. Very good. Let's do one more each side. Good, and then lowering those legs down one at a time. Let's bring those knees in, have a little hug and stretch out through that back. Well done. So take a nice deep breath in and out here. On that out breath, if you can, just relax down into that stretch. Just that little bit further if you can. Well done. Breath in. And as you breathe out, relaxing down. Good, and again, breath in. And as you breathe out, relaxing down into that stretch. Good, and again, breath in. And as you breathe out, relax through those shoulders. Good. So just lowering those legs down one at a time, back to that start position. So feet and knees at hip width distance apart. We're going to go into a bridge, but we're going to use some arm movements as well today. So we're going to float our hands up above our head here, palms up towards the ceiling. And I want you to bring your arms round in that circle. As you bring them round, I want you to lift up into that bridge, breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to lower down and then bring those arms back above your head. Good, and again, as you breathe out, lifting up, bring those arms down by your side. And as you breathe out, coming back to that start. Well done, and again, as you breathe out, bringing those arms down, lift that bottom up at the same time. And then slowly back down. Good. So if that feels too much with those arms, then we can just bring those arms down by your side and lift and lower into that bridge. The same. And then back down. Just a little variation here with these arms. So we're going to drop down by our side with those arms and lift that bottom up. Good. And then slowly back around above our head. Good. Tucking that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge and slowly coming back down. Well done. And again, dropping down. Use those bottom lifting up. And slowly lowering down. Well done. And again, sliding down, lifting up, and dropping down. Well done. And again, coming down, and lifting up. Well done. And down. We're going to do your last couple here. Dropping down, squeeze that bottom, lifting up, and lowering down. Let's do one last time. Holding down and lifting back up. Well done. Now I want you to bring your arms forward just so they're up towards the ceiling now. And we're going to just come up into some abdo prep. So I want you to lift one leg into that tabletop position and we're going to drop our hands down, reaching, and then as we lower down, lower the leg down. So opposite leg, we're going to lift into tabletop and at the same time, reaching forwards and then lowering down. Well done. And again, so lifting opposite leg and down. So we're alternating legs here, reaching forwards, lifting into that abdo prep if you can. Good. Dropping forwards and back. So just really peeling up through those rib cage and down. Well done. So we're breathing out as we lift up, breathing in as we lower. Good. Breathing out, breathing in as you lower. Very good. Last few here. Just bringing those abdominals a little bit more. Well done. And again. And back. Very good. Let's do one more each side. Good. And again. Lowering that head down. Well done. Relax those arms back down by your side. Very good. Let's have a quick stretch again. Just bring those knees in and have a little hug. Well done. Okay, so we're going to lower those legs down. We're going to come round onto our fronts from here. So round onto your fronts. If you've got a little pillow or a towel you're using just to support your forehead, you can just use that now. And just rest your head onto that block there. Arms either side of you. So just in that kind of L-shaped position, and our feet at that hip width distance apart. So we're just going to work our upper back here a little bit with our swan dive movement. So I want you to keep your chin tucked in so that neck stays long. So we're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, I just want you to lift up just that head and that breastbone off the mat. Breath in to hold. Then as you breathe out, lowering back down. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, lifting up, head and that breastbone, breath in to hold. And as you breathe out, slowly down. Now keep that chin tucked in as you lift up and as you lower down. So don't let that chin drop forward as you lower back down to the mat. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, lifting up, breath in to hold. Then as you breathe out, lowering back down. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, lifting up, breath in to hold. Then as you breathe out, lowering back down. Now, just sticking here, or if you want to for the last few to challenge it a little bit more, as you lift up, we can just hover those hands above the floor and then lower back down. Good, breath in. As you breathe out, just hovering above and lowering down. Well done. Last few. Good, and lowering down. Well done, breath in. As you breathe out, lifting up, breath in to hold. And as you breathe out, lowering down. One last time, breath in. As you breathe out, lifting up, breath in to hold. And as you breathe out, lowering down from there. Well done. So we're going to keep our arms in this position, feet a little bit wider. We're going to go into our Cobra stretch here. So just go into that extension position, just go as far as you're comfortable. So breath in, as you breathe out, lifting that head, breastbone, just to where you're comfortable. And we're going to come up as far as you feel you want to into that extension position. Breath in to hold. Then as you breathe out, we want to walk that tummy, those ribs, and then that head back down onto the mat. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, lifting up. I want you to really sink those shoulder blades down towards your bottom. Keep those shoulder blades down, neck nice and long, breath in. And as you breathe out, gently walking that tummy, ribs, breastbone back down onto the mat. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, lifting up. Slowly coming up into that extension. Breath in here. Then as you breathe out, slowly walking back down onto the mat. Good. Last couple here. Breath in. As you breathe out, lifting up, just peeling gently. Keep those shoulder blades down, that neck long. Breath in. And as you breathe out, walking that tummy, those ribs, that breastbone back down onto the mat. Let's do one last time. Breath in. As you breathe out, lifting up, nice and gently. Well done. Breath in here. Then as you breathe out, slowly walking that tummy, those ribs, breastbone, and that head back down onto the mat. Well done. Okay, so we're going to come round onto our side. So if you've got a thicker block, we'll just grab that now. I'm going to come round onto our sides from here. So we can use this just to support our head, just resting on that here in this position. So we're going to start with those knees bent up, those hips are stacked on top of each other, and we're going to lift this top leg up into that hip height position. So we're going to do our side kick movement. So we're going to glide this top leg forwards and then we're going to glide it back. So keeping that knee bent to start with, we're just gliding forwards, gliding back. So just controlling through that centre as you glide forwards and glide back. Well done. And again, gliding that leg forwards and then gliding back. Well done. Nice and controlled here. Moving through, gliding forwards and gliding back. Well done. Now if that feels comfortable, You can either keep that knee bent, or we can straighten this top leg and glide that leg forwards and gliding it back. So if that top leg's straight, we can point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Well done. Pointing to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. So just keeping that leg at that hip height level, really challenging those glutes, and really just challenging through that centre as we glide forwards and glide back. Well done. Gliding forwards, gliding back. Good. So just going to do a few more here. Gliding forwards, gliding back. So keep going if you can, but rest if you need to, and then join back in. Good. Glide that leg forwards. Well done. Gliding it back. Pointing to come forwards, flex the foot to glide back. Well done. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Very good. Let's do one more here. Gliding forwards, gliding back, and then relaxing that leg down. Well done. So let's just drop that leg in front, give it a little rest here. So while we're resting this top leg, we'll lengthen through that lower leg. Let's just do a few little pulses of that inner thigh. So breathing in and out. Good. And again, breath in and out. Just pulsing through that leg. And again, breathing in and out. Lovely. One last time. Breath in and out. And relax that leg down. Very good. So this time we're going to straighten both legs out together. So feet just in front of you here. We're going to keep those hips stacked on top of each other, and we're going to lift this top leg up and out to the side and then lower back down. So we're going to point the toes to lift up, flex the foot to lower if you can. Point the toes to lift up, flex the foot to lower. Good. And again, point the toes to lift up, flex the foot to lower. Point the toes to lift up, flex the foot to lower. Point to lift up, flex to lower. So we're just lifting and lowering. Well done. Nice and controlled, keeping those hips stacked. Good. Lift up and lower. Well done. And again, lift up and lower. Point the toes to lift up, flex the foot to lower. Point the toes to lift up, flex the foot to lower. Well done. Point to lift up, flex to lower. Good. And again, point to lift up, flex to lower. Well done. Good. Point to lift up, flex to lower. Let's do one last one. Point to lift up, flex to lower. Bend those knees. Bring those legs in. Good. Give that muscle a little rub. Very good. So we're going to drop the block down onto the floor so your head's at the front of it. Arms out in front. Now with this top arm, we're going to circle the arm above our head. So imagine you've got a piece of chalk in your fingers. We're going to draw a big circle up and around above your head, coming around and back. Good. And again, so reach forwards, reaching around in that circle, coming around and back. So we're drawing that circle up and above your head. Follow with your head just rolling on that block, and then forwards. Good. And again, reaching up and around in that circle, and then coming forwards. Good. We'll do a few more here, just in your own time, circling around, and then back. And again, reaching around, circling around, and back. Good. And again, reaching around, circling above your head, and back. Good. And again, reaching around and back. Lovely. And again, reaching the arm up and above your head, and then circling around. Lovely. Reaching around and back. Let's do one more here. Reach that arm up and above your head, circling around, and then back to the start. Well done. Okay, so let's bring that block with us, and we're going to come round onto the other side, do the same again. So just using that block to support your head here. So we're going to start as we did before, with those knees bent up. Knees bent, those hips stacked on top of each other. I'm going to go into our side kick movement. So we're going to lift this top leg up to that hip height, keeping that leg at that hip height level. We're going to glide the leg forwards and then gliding it back. So just nice and controlled as we glide forwards and glide back. Gently moving, gliding forwards and gliding back. Well done. Glide the leg forwards and gliding back. Keeping that leg at that hip height level to really challenge those glutes as we glide forward and glide back. Well done. Gliding forwards, gliding back. Well done. Good. So if that's feeling comfortable here, we can either keep this knee bent, or we can challenge it a little bit more, straightening through this top leg, and we glide forwards and glide back with that top leg straight. Now if that leg's straight as we did before, then we can point the toes to glide forward and flex the foot to glide back. Point the toes to glide forward and flex the foot to glide back. Well done. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. So keeping that control as we're gliding forwards and gliding back. Well done. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. That leg staying in that hip height level as you glide forwards and glide back. Well done. And again, gliding forwards, gliding back. Keeping that leg at that hip height level. Good. Controlling that movement. If you need to, have a rest and join back in. Otherwise, we'll keep going here. Last few. Just moving that leg forwards and back. It's not a huge movement. Keeping that control through the centre. We glide forwards and glide back. Well done. Last few here. Very good. Gliding forwards. Gliding back, keeping that leg at that hip height level. Good, well done. Gliding forwards, gliding back, and again, glide forwards, glide back. And let's do one last time. Glide forwards, glide back, and then lowering that leg down. Well done. Give that muscle a little rub. Let's drop that leg in front. Have a little stretch out there through that top leg. So while we're resting this top leg, let's lengthen through that lower leg, and we can just do a few little pulses of that inner thigh while we're resting this top leg. So just breathing in and out. Good. And again, breathing in and out as we're pulsing through that leg. Well done. Breath in and out. And one more time, breathing in and out. And relax that leg down. Well done. So this time we're going to straighten both legs out together. Feet just in front of you here. So it's just a slight flexion in those hips. Hips staying stacked on top of each other, and with this top leg we're going to lift it up and out to the side and lower back down. So we're lifting up and out to the side just as far as you're comfortable. So we're lifting and lowering. Well done. And again, lift up and lowering. Good. So if you can, we're going to point the toes to lift up, flex the foot to lower. Point the toes to lift up, flex the foot to lower. Point to lift up, flex to lower. Good. And again, point to lift up, flex to lower. Well done. And again, point to lift up, flex to lower. Well done. Pointing to lift up, flexing to lower. Well done. A few more here. Keep going. Really working those glutes. Lifting and lowering. Point to lift up, flex to lower. Last few. Lift up and lower. Well done. Point to lift up, flex to lower. Good. And again, point to lift up, flex to lower. Well done. Good. Last couple here. Point to lift up, flex to lower. Let's do one last one. And lowering that leg down. Well done. Bend those knees up. Have a little rest. So we'll give those legs a little rest here. We're going to drop that block down onto the floor. So your head's at the front of it, arm out in front. And we're going to circle this top arm up and above your head. So remember, imagine you've got that little piece of chalk between your fingers. We're going to reach up, drawing that circle up and around. And then back to that start. Good. And again, reaching that arm up and around in that circle. And then back. Good. So we're drawing that circle up and above your head. Coming around and then back. And again, reaching around in that circle. And then back to that start. Good. And again, reaching around. And back. Lovely. And again. So my head's just rolling, following on that block. And back. And again, reach that arm, drawing that circle above your head. Coming around and back. Lovely. Last few here. Reaching around. And back. Good. And again, reaching around. And back. Let's do one more here. Reach the arm up and around. Back in that circle and back to that start. Well done. Okay, so we're going to drop that block to the side. We're going to come round onto our backs from here. And we're just going to cool down in this position. So feet and knees that hip width distance apart again. Arms down by your side or out to the side of you. And we're going to drop our knees over to one side. Turn your head to the opposite side if you can. And then slowly coming back up to that start. And again, dropping those knees over, rotating through that spine. And then gently coming back up. Good. And again, drop those knees over, turning that head. And slowly coming back up. Good. And again, drop the knees over. And lengthening back up. Lovely. So just gently mobilising through that spine feels good to do as you drop the knees over, turning that head and and then back up to that start. Well done. Dropping over and gently back up. Good. One more each side. Drop the knees over. Turn that head. And back up. Last time, dropping those knees over. Rotating around. And then back to that start. Well done. Okay, so we're just going to stretch our hamstrings. Let's do it with a little bit of movement here. So we're going to bring our knee up towards the ceiling, lengthen through the leg, toes pointing up to the ceiling, and then we're going to flex the foot, lower that leg down, point the toes, lifting up. So we're going to flex the foot, lower down, point the toes, lift up. Flex as you lower down, point, lifting back up. So just gently feeling that stretch through the back of the leg here, lifting up and lowering. Well done. Point, lifting up, flexing to lower. Good. And lowering down. Well done. Point to lift up, flexing to lower. Just gently stretching with that movement through the back of the leg. Lovely. Let's do one more here. Lowering down and lifting up. Very good. Bend the knee, lower that leg back down. Same on the other side. So knee up towards the ceiling, lengthen through that leg, toes pointing up to the ceiling here. Then we're going to flex the foot, lower the leg down, point the toes, lifting it up. Flex the foot, lower it down, point the toes, lifting up. Flex, lower down, point, lifting up. So just again, gently mobilising through that leg, just a gentle stretch, lifting up, flexing, lowering down, point the toes, lifting up. Well done. Flex to lower down, point to lift up. Good, point to lifting up, flexing, lowering down. Point to lift up, flex to lower the leg down. Well done. Last couple. One more time. And then coming back and bend that knee back down to that start. Very good. So let's stretch out through those bottom muscles now. So one foot onto the opposite knee. Allow that leg just to relax open there. If that's enough of a stretch, then just stay there. Or if you can, we can bring the other leg up and towards you just as far as you feel comfortable. And then we're going to hold this stretch here. So just taking a nice deep breath in and out. On that out breath, if you can, just relax down into that stretch, just that little bit further. Well done. Breathing in and out, relaxing down. Well done. And again, breath in and out, relaxing down into that stretch. Very good. Breathing in and out and relaxing down. Well done. One more time. Breath in and out. Relaxing into that stretch. Very good. Well done. And then we're going to lower that leg back down. Do the same the other side. Opposite foot onto the other knee. Allow that leg just to relax open there. If that's enough of a stretch, then just stay there. Or if you can, we're going to bring the other leg up and towards you just as far as you're comfortable. And then hold this stretch here. So just breathing in and out. And relaxing down into that stretch. Well done. Breath in and out. And relaxing down. Well done. And one more time, breath in and out, relaxing into that stretch. Well done. And then lowering that leg down. Okay, so we're going to just come up into sitting, just finishing with a couple of stretches here. So just sitting comfortably, either legs crossed or legs out in front, however you're comfortable. Just relax those shoulders down, feel those shoulder blades sinking down towards your bottom there, neck nice and long. Going to bring those elbows in towards our side. We're just going to do a few chest opening here. So breath in. As you breathe out, opening out, squeeze the shoulder blades gently back and then forwards. Good. And again, opening out, squeezing gently back and forwards. And again, opening out and folding back. Opening out and fold back. Well done. And fold back. Lovely. Squeeze the shoulder blades gently back and folding forwards. Good. Let's do one last time. And forwards. Well done. And then bring those hands just resting on those knees there or just in front of you. Breath in. As you breathe out, going to stretch those arms back behind you and then forwards. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, reaching those arms up and back and then lowering back down. One more time. Reaching up and back and then slowly back down to that start. Relax those shoulders down. Fantastic. Well done. I hope you've enjoyed the class today. Thanks for joining me and see you again soon.